What's on the podcast today?
We discuss Double A Chattery. This is the other podcast I do with Anita McGregor. And it drops today. And we're talking all things toys. The biggest market of toys in the last year has been toys that are sold to adults. Why are we going back to our nostalgic roots?
And we're not being weird. We're not talking about adult toys.
No, squishy toys, Legos, stuff that kids normally play with are being bought by adults.
I don't know what you call... What's a squishy toy?
Well, teddy bears and soft toys.
Soft toys.
People are going back to soft toys because they feel like they are the pacifier in a hard adult world.
What about the Bermuda Triangle board game?
You had that.
Yeah, what a great game that was.
So you got having a nostalgia kick just thinking about it.
You go around the Florida Keys collecting lumber and sugar and oil.
Everything kids want.
It was like my Bucks night.
The tribal drum is beating for Give Me Back My Pet. We also touch on this in the pub test. Someone gives a dog to her friend because her boyfriend doesn't want it when they move in. Then a year later she says, my boyfriend's great now about pets. How about I get my dog back? She said, no, the dog is mine.
Give me back my pet. Delvine Delaney is going to be joining us. It's 40 years of Crocodile Dundee. Can you believe that?
She's made a documentary about behind the scenes that's going to be on in cinemas. Smart versus Dart. Here's how we pick our footy tips this week. This year is what we're doing. Brendan said I was the worst aimer of all time.
You're the worst throw. I think it's almost breathtaking how bad you are.
If I'm so bad, why did 5 of them hit you in the head?
Well, there's no teams on the head.
I know.
Right. Also, gets my ghoulies. That's all coming up in this podcast.
Everybody
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it, you cunt-face?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio. Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
But you're an idiot.
Jonesy and Amanda are here. It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Top of the morning to you, Amanda. How are you today?
Well, how are you going today?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting good grades. I'm a bit devastated that Jeans West is closing down. Where am I going to get my T-shirts from?
Is it at the end of the road, or is it? Is there a chance that it may be revived?
I don't know.
Where am I going to get all my double denim?
You
My
like
Canadian
to wear the double
tuxedo?
denim?
No, I don't.
You know, remember JJ's jeans?
It's a warehouse.
JJ's jeans. It's a
What was the
warehouse.
selling point of pushing the fact it was a warehouse?
Because it's in a warehouse.
But what does that
It
mean?
means they've got more buying power. You're going to get more jeans.
It removes everything I like about a shopping experience.
You like those shops where you go in, there's a plinth and one vase that's worth $5 billion and nothing else. And this woman that goes, yes.
There's such a kind of a awkwardness in those shops where you walk in and you think, oh, I'm going to love this shop. And you walk in and there's one woman and you're the only customer and there's nothing to look at and you hate everything. You hate that one thing they've got. And the awkward dance of pretending, because you just want to turn and go. But good manners means you can't. And if she engages you in conversation, it's the most awkward thing. So you just have to hum and look around the bare walls and go, thank you.
And then you end up buying it for $5,000.
Well, I know, because it's so awkward. I end up buying that one and having another one shipped from Singapore.
Me, on the other hand, I just like a warehouse. Give me a warehouse, you walk straight in there. Great.
What's the
Tons of
advantage that you
stuff.
buy bulk
You buy bulk, there's just cool stuff in there.
at JJ's Jeans?
Well, not anymore. Well, JJ's Jeans has been gone
What's
for a long time.
Paul's Warehouse? Is that runners? Is that shoes?
Yeah, I think Paul's Warehouse is gone. They used to sell shoes. Yeah. What happened to the warehouses? Where have they all gone?
I'll tell you where they've all gone. Real estate's so expensive. Who can afford a warehouse? That is now the expensive
Have you
shop.
seen, just on that, in Melbourne, they got Sexyland, and that's an adult warehouse.
But it's bigger than a warehouse. It's like half a suburb on the way to the airport.
Yeah. You're on the
Why
way
did you
home.
miss the plane? Oh, I just had to.
Stopped into-
I get to some petrol and
Pick up something from the
I
warehouse.
bought a teddy for the kids.
How did you spell that?
Well, I'm sorry, Jeans West, because Jeans West is
I
a
like
good
Jeans
shop.
West. I remember that T-shirt I've got. It's only fun until the cops show up. You know that T-shirt
Did
I've
you
got?
get that at Jeans West?
Yeah.
Was that mass-produced?
Yeah. I've got a lot of, Stand Clear, Erection in Progress. That's one of theirs.
I bet it is not one of theirs. That's those shops in Bali that sell "Look out for my giant erection" kind of T-shirts. You walk past those shops and you see the worst kind of T-shirts and you think, who actually buys that stuff?
I can't wear
my
those
grandmother's in here. You think, who's buying this?
What's your grandmother doing?
No, meaning that's T-shirts with terribly rude things on them. And you buy them for your friends. I don't think anyone actually buys them for themselves.
I'm at an age now where I can't wear those sort of shirts.
No, well, what age could you? What age could you?
I used to. When I was at art school, I had that. My favourite, I had a lot of weed shirts, Stone the Crows and that one with Hitler and he's doing his thing. And it says,
don't do it now.
No, okay. Don't
Thanks,
use
Elon.
that digital. But my plants grow this high.
Yeah.
I remember getting in trouble at some right-on arts student going, oh, how dare you wear that shirt?
And he said, well, I don't know, it's just a guy in a mo. I don't know who he is.
It's a weed joke, mate. Relax, lighten up.
Oh, lighten up.
Come on, man.
It's only a Nazi salute. Lighten up.
Oh, come on.
It's my heart to yours and some weed.
Well, Elon, he likes to partake.
Does he? No, ketamine's chewing his face off.
He gets on the weed.
We're going to talk about
Have you seen his
today.
Cybertruck? That looks like it's been designed by someone.
We are going to talk about Elon, and there's a sort of an influencer who sings a song about how much she loves Elon Musk as she drives around a Cybertruck. It's full kind of propaganda and hilarious. I'll play that for you later.
You know who our big guest is on the show today? Delvine Delaney.
The extraordinarily wonderful Delvine Delaney. Crocodile Dundee, we all know the movie, we think we know the story. She's made a documentary that's going to be on in cinemas about the behind the scenes of making that film.
What's your favourite line from Crocodile Dundee outside of "That's not a knife"? What's one of the other?
I'm a girl and I don't remember those things. I love the movie, but I don't remember it line by line.
What about G'day Mick Dundee in town for a few days? I might see you around.
Okay, good.
Oh, come on, it's no good if you don't join
I'm not
in.
that person. I'm not that person who remembers lines from movies.
That bloke's wearing a dress.
I don't remember that.
What about out of the way, Dopey?
Who was he saying that to?
The big bull.
Okay.
Out of the way, Dopey.
Yeah.
How about we let him say it?
It's very good, Tom. The Magnificent Seven, we can't do anything till we do the Magnificent Seven, and we've got first and last again.
First and last, our first call on air, last call on air. You get Sydney Royal Easter Show pack, you get family pass to the Easter Show, you get our show bag, you get tickets to the Dodge Jams. Here's question number 1. Ronald McDonald is the mascot of which fast food restaurant?
13.
Restaurant now.
Jam Nation. We have the Magnificent Seven. 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
We have first and last today. First caller on, last caller on. Tickets to Royal Easter Show, the show bag, and tickets to the Dodge Jams.
Nadine, is that you?
That's you, Nadine.
It is. Hello.
Hello. You're a winner today. All that show bag goodness coming your way and Easter Show tickets.
Excellent. Thank you.
Question number 1 for you. Thank you. Ronald McDonald is the mascot of which fast food restaurant?
I would have to say McDonald's.
It is McDonald's.
Pull up a pew there. Enjoy a big, Big Mac. What about
I've been known to enjoy one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like sitting inside the restaurant. It's good in there. When was the last time you sat in a McDonald's restaurant, Amanda?
I don't think I've done that for maybe 10 years since the kids were little.
The last time you went in there, they still had the ashtrays. Remember they had the McDonald's ashtrays?
No, I don't remember those. Do the seats still on a slight little slant so you don't hang around too long, or have I imagined that? Like food courts often make the chairs slightly uncomfortable, so you don't stay there you don't outstay your welcome.
No.
And your welcome is 3 minutes.
I find them to be quite comfortable. It has been some time since I've been in one. Maybe after the show we could go and get a feed at McDonald's.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Which animal was domesticated first, dogs or cats, Nadine?
Oh, I'm going to say dogs.
It's true. We were talking about this yesterday and we thought cats were. Did we? I can't remember. Yep. But anyway, dogs were domesticated between 15,000 and 30,000 years ago. Cats much more recently, 8,000 to 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, but they seem to be ruling the world. They caught on pretty quick, didn't they?
Cats?
Yeah.
I'm not a cat person, you know that.
What's on the box? Let's play it.
Television. I'll turn the box on.
At least, dogs have learned to be people pleasers. Cats don't give a rat's. Question number 3. What is it? The theme. What TV show has this theme, Nadine?
One of our favourite shows. Gives us a lot of content. Nadine?
Is that a current affair?
It is a current affair.
Question number 4. What's the original name for the suburb of Gladesville? Is it A, Doodie's Bay, C, Cucker Cove, or C, Pooh Point?
I think you'll find it's Poo-Poo Point.
Let's try and make it harder.
Ah.
Defecation Point. Is it Doodie's Bay, Cucker Cove, or Poo-Poo Point?
I think I'm going to go with B.
Kaka Cave?
No, it's not. Chaka Khan.
No, it's not Kaka Cove.
Well, that's question number 4.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation.
Podcast.
We're into the Magnificent Seven.
It's question number 4, and it's going to Cherie in Camden. Hello, Cherie.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. What was the original name for the suburb of Gladesville? Was it Doodie's Bay or Poo-Poo Point? Depends where the joggers are.
Doodie's Bay.
Doodie's
Give us the
Bay.
information, Brendan.
Well, before Gladesville got its fancy name, it was known as Doodie's Bay after John Doodie. John Doodie was a convict turned botanical illustrator. He arrived on the Third Fleet in 1791. He impressed officials with his watercolours of Norfolk Island plants. And so they said to him, here you go, mate, you can have Gladesville, or call it whatever you want.
Yeah, there you go.
So he got 30 acres of waterfront land.
Wow.
Good
I wonder if
Lord.
there are still descendants of Mr. Doodie.
Well, what about there's Doodie Street in Botany, Alexandria there?
Well, it's not an uncommon surname.
Yeah, I know, but was that another Doodie?
I'm sure there's more than one Doodie.
There'd be a few Doodies around here.
Sure. Question number 5 for you now, Cherie. True or false? Containers labelled microwave safe won't leach chemicals into your food when heated. True or false?
True.
No, it's not. Sorry, Cherie.
Ryan's in Blue Haven.
Hi, Ryan. So if you've got a container, it's labelled microwave safe. Is it true or false that this won't leach chemicals into your food?
That would be false.
Yeah, microwave safe just means it won't buckle or warp when it's heated. So it's nothing to do with your food getting contaminated. That's
So
nice.
all that chemical goodness will be leaching into your food.
Yeah, you can rely on that.
What shape is a stop sign, Ryan?
The hexagonal?
No. I'm going to give you a clue. Okay, give a clue.
People fight in it.
Oh, that's good.
Tanya's in George's Hall.
Hi, Tanya. What shape is the
Good
stop
morning.
sign?
Is it an octagon?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
got 8 signs.
As soon as I said cage fighting, you instantly went, that's my wheelhouse.
That's Tanya's
Or
info.
my octagon, says Tanya.
Question 7. This is where it all comes home for you. Here we go, Tanya. Who's up against the Panthers tonight in the NRL?
Oh, it's got to be the Rabbitohs.
The
It's
Bunnies.
the Bunnies.
It's got to be the Bunnies. We've got our footy tips today. Smart versus dart. Are we still persisting with this?
We are, and you've been very rude about my dart throwing, so I'm going to actually properly aim for your groin and your face.
Okay. You're just the worst thrower I've ever seen.
Why would you bait me when I'm going to be throwing darts at you?
I'm not baiting anything. It's an observation.
Okay, well, I'm going to really hone my skill.
Okay. Tanya, congratulations. A double pass to Pseudo Echo's Love and Adventure 40th anniversary tour. Tickets are on sale now. A $200 voucher to Holy Moly. It's like golf, but fun. And Jonesy and Amanda Coach tours for you to colour in and some standard pencils. Anything you'd like to add to this, Tanya?
Oh, thank you very much. I have a niece and nephew that are going to be thrilled with that Holy Moly voucher.
Unreal. Good. Thanks, Tanya.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation.
Podcast.
Jonesy and Amanda will make radio great again.
Just wrecked me up.
I ripped you up.
Oh, my sweat was small.
Was throwing English language out the window.
Thumbing through the Jalmanac, our big book of musical facts. On this day in 1987, my boys U2 released Where the Streets Have No Name. What a song. It quickly became a popular hit worldwide, so much so that the band were offered $23 million for the song to be used in a car commercial.
Really? Did they
Yes.
say yes?
They considered it, decided no, because they didn't want people thinking it's that song from the car ad.
Right, that is a risk.
Bono wisely went with Lubemobile. Lubemobile will come to you.
He wrote that song,
He wrote that-
Lubemobile, and said, that one you can have.
And also, they fixed the car.
They fixed the car.
We could play
You know,
that.
Player had no problem with Baby Come Back. They were happy for the money.
Let's whack Where the Streets Have No Name on.
And he wants
This.
to drive through a place where the streets have no name. Why put that in a car ad?
This is all stuff we could ponder after the song.
Okay.
Jam Nation.
Double A Chattery drops today. That's a big deal. Your friend Anita McGregor And yourself, what are we talking about today?
We do a podcast, as seen live on stage at the Adelaide Writers Festival.
People were raving
Our
about
tour
it.
of duty.
Yeah, you got some big yucks.
Well, no, it wasn't sometimes we're deep as well. It's tears and yucks. It's not just yucks.
It's laughter and then there's the blub and,
It's all the things you want from a podcast.
Everyone enjoyed it.
It's all the things you want from a podcast.
Apparently.
Today we're talking about toys, because I saw this incredible statistic. I've got it here on my phone. US adults purchase more toys for themselves than any other age group in the first quarter of 2024.
Really?
So adults, kidults, they're called in the toy industry.
Not adult toys. That's a different kettle of
No,
fish.
they're buying toys for themselves, whether it's Lego, whether it's colouring in books. A lot of adults are turning back to, because the world's a hard place at the moment, post-pandemic, what's happening all over the world. It's a hard place to be in. And people are going back to the nostalgia of their childhood toys.
Yeah.
You spoke yesterday about your Bermuda Triangle board game.
What a great game that was.
Yeah.
And you know what? I went on eBay looking to buy one.
How much?
Ranging from $30 to $400.
Anita's favourite.
And then I thought, no, I'm not going to play it. I'm going to buy it and it'll just go into my roof cavity.
But what a nostalgic kick to the heart you'd get if you saw it. Anita's favourite toy when she grew up, and I tried to buy her one a few years ago on eBay for her birthday, was an Easy Bake Oven. And it was a little, because she grew up, she's Canadian. It's a North American toy. It's a little oven, but it had a little bulb, and you also got a mixture with it, and you could make a muffin that would be cooked in 100 years by the light of the bulb.
Yeah, right.
But I was wondering, and we talk about all this, is about how the nature of toys may have changed. Yes, we're going back to the nostalgia. For example, stuffed animals, as they say, it's the adult pacifier. It's solace in a hard world. People want their teddy bears, their stuffed toys. But I was wondering if all the classic stuff that we grew up with still exists, like tea sets. And there still are, because I thought we don't see the ritual anymore of mums, which it was in our generation, having tea parties and serving tea with teapots and lovely cups. That ritual doesn't really exist anymore. And yet parents are buying tea sets for their kids. So you're still passing on the dream of having a tea party, even if you're not hosting in real life a tea party. Interesting, isn't it?
When I was a young fella, we used to set up a car yard. You'd go into the backyard, you'd have all your Matchbox cars, and in the dirt, you'd make a track, and there'd be a car yard.
So you didn't have a racing track, you made a car yard.
Well, you make a car yard, and you
and it's like you'd sell cars or you'd wreck cars. You were a salesman very early on.
I had my suit.
Well, these days you know what they have. So you had your car yard. You can get young influencer kits. You can get a work from home kit for babies. I don't know whether parents buy it as a joke, but it's like a ring light. This is the work from home, a little computer, a little cup of coffee for the work from home kit.
Heating it up with your Easy Bake Oven. Take you forever.
So despite the changing world, we still go back to these nostalgic dreams. And anyway, that is Double A Chattery. We discuss all of that wherever you get your podcasts.
Get it from the iHeartRadio app. That's where you get it.
Or you can get it at doubleachattery.com.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation. Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. This is an interesting dilemma.
I saw this on Reddit, a woman saying, I adopted my friend April's dog a year ago. She moved in with a boyfriend who didn't want pets. She gave me all the rights, whatever that means. The dog became my world and she saved me from depression. Recently, April asked for the dog back because her boyfriend was now okay with it. I refused, explaining the dog was settled and happy with me. April has accused me of stealing her dog and threatened to end our friendship. She's reached out to my relatives with lies. She's trying to ruin our relationship. I'm not giving the dog away. She's my baby. There was mixed response underneath this.
What do people say?
Well, people are saying anyone who's going to give away a dog does never deserve a dog.
Yes.
Someone else has said, look, why don't you buy yourself another puppy, another dog, and give this one back to April? Because she's saying here, I'm reading between the lines, she's saying, she gave me full adoptive rights. Maybe that's how this woman has seen it. Maybe that wasn't April's intention.
How long did she have the dog for?
A year.
Ooh.
Some are saying the dog still matters to April, give the dog back. Others are saying, no, your friend abandoned the dog, you adopted it.
Yep.
In your mind, it's your dog now. Keep the dog, forget April. Return the dog, get a new puppy. If you want solace in a dog, do it that way.
Get your own dog.
Yeah.
Maybe they should put the dog in a circle and they on each side. who the dog goes to first.
Oh, like in those crazy Kramer versus Kramer adoption movies.
I don't think that was in Kramer.
Oh, wasn't it? Have I mistaken
that? Was with the kid. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Jacinda, our executive producer, was saying that they was living in a flat for a little while. It was temporary. Her parents live on a farm. They gave the cat to the mum because they had a mice problem. Cat's been very good. The mother has bonded enormously with the cat. But Jacinda's kids now want the cat back. They've moved back into a place. They want their cat back. And the mother's saying, no, I want it.
My sister moved over to Dubai and she left her cat Rufus for us to mind. And I didn't mind it. I liked the cat. And then she subsequently came back and I said, do you want your cat back? And she said, oh, he settled here. And then we had Rufus for another 18 years.
Would you have given the cat back?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
And but if she had said, I'm going away and you psychologically think this cat's mine now.
I never thought that.
But if you did,
but no one owns
a
cat. The cat
that's true.
It just exists in the world.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're asking this morning. It's intriguing, isn't it? Keeping the pet.
Yeah.
Does it pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
What is this, Amanda and Jonesy?
I know you're trying to inflame me by saying it.
Ladies, ask your husband if you use the phone.
Oh, shut up.
Delvine Delaney's going to be joining us later on the show. There's a new doco out, Love of an Icon, the legend of Crocodile.
Yeah, it's 40 years since Crocodile Dundee was released, but our fascination with it has never waned. But she's made a documentary. She, of course, was married for many years to John Cornell, who was Strop, but John was... and the kind of the brains and the executive producer behind Crocodile Dundee. So she's made this documentary about what went on behind the scenes, and apparently I cannot wait to see it. It's fascinating.
Men of a certain age, me, largely.
How can you not be creepy?
I'm not being creepy. I had a super crush on Delvine Delaney.
Well, I think I did too.
But also Hogs and Strop, that relationship.
It was just so great.
The good mates, but Strop always pulling that face, and at school we used to pull that face. You know, the face.
Does the teacher say if the wind changes?
And she said, what are you doing that face for? Stop doing a Strop face.
What was so lovely about Strop is he played such a drongo, but he was such a smart man in real life.
Very smart man. And Crocodile Dundee, your favourite lines from Crocodile Dundee. And you can't say that's not a knife. This is a knife.
I just remember the film. I don't remember it the way you do.
What about Mick Dundee in town for a few days? My cat, this way.
Just came in town for a couple of days. Probably see you around.
What about out of the way, Dopey?
Out of the way, Dopey.
Or what about the cross-dressing person in the bar?
That was a guy. Guy dressed up like a Sheila. Look at that. There, you
That's got some ire lately, but it was of a time.
Oh, absolutely. Australians just love this film, and it was so internationally loved too.
Yep.
It changed the trajectory of everyone's lives that was involved.
You know what, I might play to Delvine a little bit later on as well. I was going down the rabbit hole and I found Delvine in The Love Boat.
The Australian Love Boat. When they came to Australia. And didn't she sort of speak in rhyming slang and things?
I'll get that up for you.
Brilliant.
In the meantime, the pub test has come out. An interesting dilemma that you brought to the table.
If you give someone your pet because your boyfriend doesn't want you to have a pet, a year later you want your pet back, can you get the pet back?
It happened to me with Miss September.
Oh, God. Mention it to Delvine, why don't you?
We'll have that next.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
I saw this on Reddit, a woman saying that she adopted her friend's dog over a year ago because the friend moved in with a boyfriend who didn't want pets. It says here she gave me all the rights. The dog became my world. When you say gave all the rights, what is, whose decision is that?
We're down at the Jonesy and Amanda.
Sorry, I forgot to mention where we were.
That's okay.
I've just ordered drinks too early.
You just burst straight in there.
I'm sorry about that. I've come in through the saloon doors. So recently, this other friend has asked for the dog back because the boyfriend is now okay with it. This person is saying, I'm not giving the dog back. The first one is saying, well, you've stolen the dog. So obviously one person thought, I'm adopting this dog. The other person said, can you look after the dog? Two different things. But we're asking you, should she be giving the dog back? A lot of mixed comments I've seen below this Reddit story. Some saying no. If you give your dog away, you never deserve to get it back. Others saying buy yourself a new dog and let her have this one.
What do you think?
Giving the dog back, does it pass the pub test?
Any woman who puts a man before her dog isn't worth it. I know the feeling. I got my sister's dog because she did exactly that, and I kept the pup for about 5 or 6 years.
I don't think she should give back the puppy. She chose the boyfriend over the puppy. Learn to live with that.
I think it's just a bit sad that she's letting her boyfriend have so much control over her. Like, you can't have the dog, you can have the dog. No, make your own mind up, love.
Yes, it does. If the original owner was still paying for the dog's food and vet bills and everything it needs, well then yes, it goes back. But if it was left and said here and the new owner was feeding it, like paying for the food and vet bills and that, well, that's that person's dog now. End of story.
I think it's a really hard one. I think it's got to be taken on a case-by-case basis. But I actually think we've got to think about the poor animal who bonds with the human and has no say in it. So maybe we should think about what's going on with the animal and how they're coping.
So should they do what you said earlier, Brendan, where they stand at opposite ends of a room, maybe with both of them with sausages around their neck, and see which one the dog goes for?
I think that's a show on ESPN. Thank you for all your calls.
Jam Nation. Jonesy and Amanda in the morning on WSFM. Now Gold 101.7.
Hello there. Delvine Delaney is coming up. I had such a crush on her from the Paul Hogan
all you've
show.
said all morning.
To Sail of the Century.
Are you going to be grown up? Are you going to be grown up?
I can't say that.
Well,
you talk about it all the time when you. What's his your Scottish mate?
Well, Sam Heughan.
Yeah.
Well,
you bang on about him all the time.
Well, she's a very dignified woman.
I've just been doing a bit of research on Delvine. Did you know The Love Boat? Remember the TV show?
I remember when The
Love
Love Boat came to Australia and she played the cruise director.
She was cruise director. Julie, for some reason, Julie didn't come with The Love Boat.
No, she didn't have a passport ready.
To Australia. I don't know why that
hadn't had
happened.
a shots.
But Delvine became the love interest of not just Doc, but Gopher as well.
Not love interest. They thought love interest.
Yeah, they thought she was fair game.
Yeah.
And Doc was a bit of a pants man.
Yeah.
And this is how that unfolded.
Fair dinkum, Doc. Working on a ship is the best duty there is.
Getting better all the time.
Well, I'm going to have a couple of days off, and I was kind of hoping maybe you'd like to show me around the town a little bit.
Oh, I'd love to, Gopher. And I'll tell you what, if you'd like, you can stay with me at my house.
Oh, well, if you insist.
Not so fast, Gopher. Yvonne and I have already talked, and I'm going to be staying at her house.
He is.
He is, but no worries. You can both stay with me. We'll have a great time. You'll be able to see my china plate. You can both play with my billy lids.
Oh,
yeah. I speak Australian. That's you're going to meet my husband and play with me kids. Anyway.
That was quite the episode.
It was a different time. The Devil's Trident was going to be set up, but no. We'll put tonic on and we'll talk to Delvine Delaney next on Gold. Jam Nation.
Well, it's 40 years since its release, and Crocodile Dundee remains Australia's most successful film of all time.
You bet.
Absolutely extraordinary. The film has had a bit of a resurgence of late with the recently released Encore Cut edition. But what exactly went on behind the scenes? Well, a new documentary by Delvine Delaney takes us inside the film like never before. It's called Love of an Icon, The Legend of Crocodile Dundee. And she joins us now. Delvine, hello.
Hello, Amanda. How are you?
I'm so well. Just been watching you on the TV.
I just saw you on the TV.
You look spectacular. You really do.
You did all right.
Oh, well done. Thank you so much. You've made my day.
You should give TV a crack. I reckon you'd do all right at it.
Go on TV every now and then.
I think you'd do well at it.
You look extraordinary. Not a day has passed since we last saw you on our screens.
Well, it's 30 years. So it's a long time, isn't it? It's a long time, and I look back and I think I've been best mates with Paul Hogan for 50 years this year.
Wow.
It was 50 years ago that I met John this month.
You know, can I just make a confession? When I was a kid and I watched you on the Paul Hogan show, and it was sensational.
Would you like to blow a whistle down the line, Delvine?
Nothing weird happened, but I had such a crush on you on the telly.
Okay.
It's okay. You don't have to blow a whistle or anything.
I'm getting the taser out just in case.
Just see. But and it's funny. There's an era of guys my age who, at that period, watching the Paul Hogan show, it was such a time. It was such a great time.
The 70s were fantastic. They were so more free for us to be who we wanted to be and to say what we wanted to say. And the Paul Hogan show really nailed commentary on politics in a non-political way because, you know, Paul was so much the man in the street. John had a fantastic journalism background, and so between the two of them, they were able to comment without offence, and their humour was never malicious. It was always just plain old good fun. Let's have a laugh at ourselves and let's love being Aussies.
With the film Crocodile Dundee, I know the filmmaking was taken very seriously, but did anyone have an idea at the beginning that film would become what it has been? Did you have a sniff of it at the time?
Not really. I mean, in the documentary, even Paul alludes to the fact that John was the only one who believed that it would be a big hit. But even a big hit was not anywhere near the hit that it became in John's mind. We were all completely taken by surprise, particularly the international response, because when John was trying to sell that film, nobody really knew much about Australia. And weren't even aware that we spoke English and certainly much less aware that we had a culture and that we were likeable, approachable people. And so I think that to get the response from everybody equally around the world was really satisfying for those two guys to know that they hit the mark.
But it must be hard for you as well, because John passed away a few years ago now, and for you this is like a love story to your husband.
It absolutely is. And when Victoria and I were co-writing and co-producing and co-directing the documentary, it was challenging to keep a dry eye, because I was watching footage of John in his absolute prime, looking spectacular in all his power. And it was my life as well. There was footage of me as a very young woman really going through this incredible adventure. And so we had to be careful not to make it a pity project or indeed a vanity project, but we aimed in our writing and directing and editing particularly to make it an authentic project. So it's about telling the truth about what I saw and experienced on the whole journey of Crocodile Dundee.
What are some of the stories that might surprise us from the doco?
Well, that we nearly didn't even get the budget. And that was because John went to people like Kerry Packer, who was his old mate from World Series Cricket and the Paul Hogan shows. And Kerry adored John and put his money in. He put over $1 million in. And then he was advised by one of his advisors to pull the money out because that advisor didn't believe that the film would work. So Kerry pulled his money out.
Oh.
And then there were a couple of other instances like that where people changed their mind. And so we had to scrabble around. John reached out to everybody whom we knew, all of our family and friends, the cricketers from World Series Cricket, In Excess, who had composed music for the film, like everybody that we knew, to invest a minimum of $5,000. My mum and dad put in $5,000 to get the film up.
Wow. Do you think maybe that it was your star turn as a cruise director when the Love Boat came to Australia that helped it get up?
Oh my God!
And
I was so bad in that.
You were great. This is you.
But no worries, you can both stay with me. You'll have a great time. You'll be able to see my china plate. You can both play with my billy lids.
There you go. And interesting premise. Doc and Gopher, they were both vying for your attention, and then you invite them both back to their place and back to your place rather, and they're not up for it.
Wow, I'd forgotten all of that.
You'd be a terrible cruise director, Delvine.
Good.
This documentary, How Wonderful, is going to be in cinemas, so make sure you go and
take
see
your
it.
billy lids.
Take your billy lids.
And your china plate.
It's been so nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You take
Great
care.
to talk to
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation
Podcast.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Eating tongue. It's like the Christmas party all over again.
Quite. So you kept your job this year.
It's Thursday, footy tips. In the past, we had mystery footy tippers, which was largely former NRL players, and it turned out to be dreadful because they are so unreliable.
So I thought, I came up with an experiment. Let's look at what the pundits have saying, i.e. the betting agencies, because that's who are going to be looking at this stuff. People who are using information and nous to come up with who they think will win the game versus something random. And that something random is you holding ping pong bats with the teams on them and I throw darts at you. And now last week, we're calling it Smart versus Dart. Last week, Smart got 6 out of 8 and Dart, me, got 2 out of 8 being random. But having said that, over the last 3 rounds, Dart is winning 2-1. Just goes to show.
If I knew that you were such a dreadful... Stop saying it.
No, it goes to show. It shows big time that you can have all the knowledge in the world and it makes no difference.
Yeah, but I didn't realise you were such a a terrible throw.
You've been mocking my dart
It's
throwing.
not mocking. You are absolutely spectacularly bad.
I have been trying not to aim at your body. Today, I'm aiming right at your body to shut you up about how good I am at darts.
It went so well last week.
Okay, ready? Okay. Oh, that got into your jacket. Oh, that went for your feet. Oh, wow. That went nowhere. Oh, that hit your face. Okay, you're using them as just shield.
I'm using it as a shield to protect me.
Well, that's why see, you claim I can't aim. I'm throwing them right at you. It sounds like I'm doing a good job.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that. Also, Elon Musk, who would have thought that his crazy car-looking thing would be the subject of people setting it on fire in a poor-selling car?
I know, that's coming up, but also a new sport has just been announced for the LA Olympics.
Yeah.
It's a little unusual. We'll talk about it next.
It's not breakdancing, surely.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast.
Well, the LA Olympics, I know Brisbane's plans for 2032 have been in our news this week, but LA's up next,
They've sort of been
2028.
like when I used to do a school project, Brisbane, you've got a year to do this, and at the last minute,
Yeah, the night before, Mum!
best be building myself a stadium.
I think we might be writing a note for Brisbane to say, can we just prolong this a little bit longer? So you won't be surprised here that breakdancing isn't returning to the Olympics in Paris. What a surprise.
What's Ray Gunn going to do?
Well, she can participate in these ones: flag football, squad lacrosse, baseball, softball, T20 cricket. They're going to be featured.
What's flag football?
Oh, as if I'd know.
Okay.
As will a new Ninja Warrior course. So here's the thing. Modern pentathlon, this is one of the quirkiest and most unique sports at the Olympics.
It's got a horse, an archery.
It's got a horsey. It's got, how dare you demean the traditional skills of an ancient warrior?
Yep.
Because an ancient soldier, that's what it's replicating. So it has 5 sports designed to test these traditional skills: pistol shooting, fencing, swimming, show jumping, and a cross-country run. Well, the IOC has voted to replace the equestrian element. I think the horses have said, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Horses are out, making way for this Ninja Warrior obstacle course. So Ninja Warrior will now be part of the pentathlon, as if it wasn't kooky enough before. And now it's going to sound beautiful when we get the commentary involved.
Oh, yeah, if it gives something for Fordham to do.
40 kilograms.
Yeah. Where do we shoot again?
Can't they put a horse in it?
And the horses say, I'm out, I'm out.
What about dart throwing at your radio colleague?
Do they have darts? No, they don't, do they? They have javelin. Why don't we do javelin? At the moment, I'll start with darts. I'm going to throw darts at you to pick our footy tips next.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation
Podcast.
I like football. He likes football. She likes football. We all love the
Well, here we are. It's round 4 of the NRL. Brendan Jones is padding up, and I'll tell you why. We're experimenting with who's a better tipper, the experts or the universe. The experts use knowledge, insider information. I throw darts at Jonesy. He's going to be holding ping pong bats representing each team. Where will the darts land? We're calling it smart versus dart. So let's go.
Yeah, rightio.
Brendan, you've got your pads on, you've got your cricket box in, you've got your leather jacket, you've got gloves, you've got your helmet. I am worried about your throat. We're going to have to cover your throat. Let me undo this and shove that in. Hang on. Because I am concerned that that's the bit where...
No, you're making this worse.
Am I? Okay, but you need to cover your throat.
This is my good jacket, by the way. This is the motorcycle jacket I haven't had an accident in.
All week you have been slagging me off about how bad I am at throwing. So...
I can't hear anything. I'm going to go over here.
You go over there. Let's see what the smart people, the pundits, have predicted. So Rabbitohs Panthers. Rabbitohs have been... Panthers, funnily enough. Panthers are picked. Roosters Titans. Roosters have got the tick. Broncos Dolphins. Broncos have got the tick. Yep. Storm Dragon. Storms being tipped. Raiders and the Cowboys. Raiders. Sharks and the Bulldogs. Sharks. What are you looking at me like that?
Why don't you just do them one at a time? So
okay, you want to do that? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Well, first up, let's get throwing these darts. Let's do it. All right, Rabbitohs Panthers. Panthers have been picked. I'm going to aim. Here we go. Watch out, Brendan. That hit a panther.
Oh.
Up next, Roosters Titans. Roosters have been picked. Let's go. That went straight into the ground. That one hit your head as per aimed. That one went into the board behind your head.
Throw.
That just missed your shoulder.
You're a dreadful.
Oh, that hit your leg. Did you feel it?
You're a terrible throw.
Oh, that got your cricket ball. No, go further back. Oh. Okay, a bit further back. You're crouching on me. Okay, that hit a rooster. Up next, Broncos, Dolphins. Broncos have been predicted to win. No, don't come too close. You're freaking me out. That one's gone over your head. That one's gone. Okay, don't be angry at me. Okay, that hit a Bronco. Next up, we've got Dragon Storm. Storm is what the experts are predicting. That one hit St George. There we go. Okay.
First one.
Cowboys and Raiders. Raiders has got the tip. Did that hit a cowboy?
That hit a cowboy.
Okay, up next, Sharks and Bulldogs. Sharks have been predicted. You can't just push Sharkies in my face. Sea Eagles and the Eels. Let's have a look. Sea Eagles have got the tip from the experts. Ready? Just move them around. That hit your head. Let's go again. That got your shoulder. One more. Here we go. Eels. And our final round,
Here
Tigers and the Warriors. The Tigers have been given a tip here by the experts. What does the dart say? Oh, wow. If that had gone in your leg, that would have been terrible. One more. Okay, that's the Warriors I've just picked there. Are you okay?
You're the worst throw. I just can't believe how bad you are.
You know, why would you make me angry when I'm holding
No,
dart?
but honestly, look at you. Look at you are that bad, it's good.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, well, smart versus dart.
Smart versus dart. We'll see how we go over the weekend.
I think I've sprung a leak.
We'll put all my incredible tips up on our socials.
Jam Nation.
Doing it to the ground right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Coin cash.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
It's all gold, baby. 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You can pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. You get all the questions right, $1,000.
You can turn it into $2,000 with one bonus question, but it's double or nothing.
Troy is in Newtown.
Hi, Troy.
How you doing, guys?
Very well,
We
Troy.
do well.
You've got a deep radio voice.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, very impressive.
Deeper. Now we're all going to have to go.
Yeah, like Valvoline.
It's like at a radio convention. Everyone gets together on the turn.
And does some time calls. Troy, you've got 10 questions. You've got 60 seconds. If you're not sure, say pass. We usually have time to come back, okay?
Yep,
Let's see if we can get you some money because here we go. Question number 1. What body part do you use to smell?
Your nose.
Question 2. Sourdough and whole grain are types of what?
Bread.
Question 3. What's kindy short for?
Kindergarten.
Question 4. Who sang 9 to 5?
Well, pass.
Question 5. True or false? Adults have more bones than babies.
False.
Question 6. How many events are there in a decathlon?
5.
No.
Sorry.
That's right. Decathlon is 10. And I reckon you know. I reckon you know
I
who
know.
sings
It was
9 to 5.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
I know.
Troy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Troy.
Accepted 9 to
That's the
5
best I've done.
Well, good on you, Troy. Other than
guys.
swearing on the radio, apologise to
Yeah, I know,
all the
very
mum
good.
and the kids and all that. But that's what it is,
Thank
Troy.
you,
It's
Troy.
emotion.
Thanks, heaps, guys.
Carry on.
you.
You and your big radio voice.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast.
This is a story we spoke about earlier for the pub test. This woman said, I adopted my friend's dog over a year ago when she moved in with a boyfriend who didn't want pets. She gave me all the rights. The dog became my world and saved me from depression. Recently, my friend has asked for the dog back because her boyfriend is now okay with it. I have refused, saying the dog is now settled and happy with me. Furious, my friend accuses me of stealing her dog, etc., etc., etc. See, on one hand, you have the person who's adopted the dog. She said, I got all rights to the dog. That's how she sees it. Maybe the friend said, hey, can you take the dog until I sort this situation out? The comments underneath this are very interesting. And we also put it to the pub test, giving back the dog. We asked, does it pass the pub test? And we got this call. No, we didn't. We got no
I
call.
have a feeling I got my sister's dog because she did exactly that, and I kept the pup for about 5 or 6 years.
So it happens. Our executive producer Jacinda has a cat, and they moved recently back into a smaller flat while they were selling their house. Her mother, her family who live on a property, said, we'll take the cat. And Jacinda now, her children want the cat back, but her mother says, no, I've now bonded with this cat.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Where do the rights go?
I'd get the kids, if I was her, I'd get the kids another cat and leave the other cat over at Mum's place.
But if you've gone through the hard work of getting a cat the kids have bonded with, that knows the family and all of that, starting again with a new baby.
Kids have got memories of goldfish.
But you have to do I've never had a kitten. A kitten's hard work.
They're so cute.
They're cute. But do you want to go back to kitten stage again when you think, I've actually got a
go to the
self-sourcing
RSPCA
cat?
and get one of those that are already formed.
Yeah, but you still have to teach it about your family.
I've inherited
and the kids
a cat.
want that cat. That's the whole point. You teach your kids to love their pets.
My sister went over to live in Dubai. She was only going to go for a year. She went over there, left her cat Rufus with me. And when she came back, I said, you want your cat back? She said, no, it seems to be happy with you. And it was. And it became
that's a nice story.
Long-held cat.
They can't always be that. Sometimes they can be Kramer versus Kramer stories.
Why do you always default to Kramer versus Kramer?
It's hugely dramatic in the courtrooms.
But that cat as well, we went from 3 house moves and it would be adopted by the street. Our last house in particular, there was a Frenchman that lived down the road and he was devastated because Rufus suddenly went missing. And he said to my old neighbour, he said, what happened to Rufus? And they said, well, they moved. And he was devastated that Rufus had gone.
See, maybe if he didn't know that Rufus had a family, he might be feeding Rufus and feel that Rufus is his. People get attachments, Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they begin and end? So we thought we'd look at this. The tribal drum is beating for give me back my pet.
Oh, like Mel Gibson in Ransom. Give me back my pet.
Yeah. Or Kramer versus Kramer.
Would you stop with Kramer? You know.
Sooty versus the Smiths. Give me back my pet.
Yep.
And what side of the equation are you on? Have you lost a pet to somebody or have you gained one and don't want to give it back?
Jam Nation. The tribal drum is beating for give me back my pet. Give me back my pet.
We put this to the pub test earlier. A woman had gave her dog to a friend because the boyfriend, she was moving with a boyfriend, he didn't want a pet. About a year later, she asked for the dog back and the friend said, no, it's my dog now. And most people seem to think, no, it's your dog, you get to keep it. Others said, get yourself a new dog and give this one back to the original owner. So everyone gets what they need.
We have some stories here. Kate has joined us.
Hello, Kate.
Hi, Jonesy and Amanda. How are you going?
We are great,
What was the pet and who got it?
Oh, my God. So it was actually my ex's cat who I kept custody of. That's fine. But then one day the cat jumped into somebody's ute and went for a ride, and he was really lovely to them, so they kept the cat for a while. And eventually, though, he showed his true colours because this cat was a bloody nuisance animal. So once he showed his true colours, they got jack of him and took him to the pound. And I had him microchipped, so I got him, got the phone call from the pound, come collect your cat. I thought he'd been long dead because 6 weeks in cat terms is a long time for no news.
Yeah.
And I went and collected the treasure and got him back. But really, I didn't want, I was kind of glad to see the back of him.
Right.
But I did the right thing. I went and collected him from the pound and got stuck with the nuisance.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it, that he jumped into someone's ute and they thought, what a beautiful
cat.
Straight to the pound the minute he got cranky.
And that cat was just a giant a-hole. Is this cat still around?
No, he lived a long and proper life.
Okay, right.
Sounds like something unusual has gone on there.
Sure,
Thank you, Kate.
He lived a long and proper life.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Adele has joined us.
Another story about a cat. Hello, Adele.
Hi, guys. That's funny. Love you guys so much. I've been with you, Amanda, from the beginning.
Oh, Adele, I love that.
Well, what
Thank
about
you.
me, Adele? You know, you can't just give Amanda praise.
And you, Jonesy, as soon as you joined Amanda.
Thank you.
I've been with you too.
Thank you,
No,
Adele.
Kate, that sounds about as convincing. That sounds as convincing as Kate's story about what happened to a cat.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you my story. So I had this beautiful friend and she really needed somewhere to go and she asked me if she could move in and I was just renting a house and I said, yeah, look, all right. And so she moves in and she brings her little girl and her cat. Her cat, Okie Dokie, she called it. Anyway, this naughty cat, he was a Tom. He wasn't, desexed or anything, and he was scratching everything, and it was a pain in the neck. But anyway, I put up with it because I loved her. And the naughty girl, she then moved out and left the cat with me.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't want it. I didn't want the cat. He was really naughty. And I was like, please take the cat. No, I can't, love. I'm moving to South Australia. I have no idea where I'm going to be. And I'm like, okay. So then I had to find someone for the cat to live with. But I did. He ended up with a lovely home.
Sounds a bit like a Kate's story.
Yeah, can you describe this home, Adele?
Was it above ground?
Yeah. Lovely home.
No, it's true. He went with a detective.
Oh,
really?
That was a friend of ours.
And what's his name?
Oh, don't ask for details. We'll believe you, Adele. I like the idea of this cat's a pain in the neck, but it doesn't belong to me. Next minute, yes, it does.
Thank you, Adele.
I'm going to take more of your calls.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
What do you call this? Jonesy and Amanda.
It's the ABC, mate.
Brendan, God, you're exhausting. You're so exhausting.
If by exhausting, do you mean entertaining?
Not really.
It's our 20th anniversary.
Yeah, it is.
Don't be
how
like
have we
this.
lasted this long? What we're talking about this morning is, it started with a story about a woman who was given a pet dog by her friend who said, look, I'm moving with my boyfriend. He doesn't want pets. Here's the dog. The recipient says, I got full adoption rights. It was my dog now.
Yep.
A year later, the first owner says, my boyfriend's happy with the dog idea. Can I have my dog back? No, the dog is mine.
She's gone the full Mel Gibson in Ransom.
Give me back my
Pet.
That's what the tribal drum is beating for today.
Give me back my
Pet.
Hello, Bronwyn.
Hi, how are you?
Very
Good morning.
well. Which side of this equation have you been on?
I stole the dog from next door.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, what happened was they were going to, they said, can you mind my dog for a couple of months because we're moving to Port Macquarie, and when we come back, we'll sedate the dog and take him back. And I went, okay, no worries. Well, when they came back, I hid the dog inside the house and said, oh, the dog's in the backyard somewhere, and they couldn't find it, obviously.
So did they just say fair enough and drove off again?
Yeah, pretty much. They said, we can't find her. And I said, well, she's there. I said, she's definitely there. Maybe she got out the gate because the gate wasn't as good as it was. And then they were quite happy with that. And I said, okay, cool. This dog was 10 years old with a half a ear and they wanted to sedate it.
Yeah. It does sound unusual that the dog went missing on the very one day that they came back to take it. And the gate was open, says Bronwyn. They must have been sus about you.
Exactly. Well, who cares, really?
Yeah.
So, but you sedated the dog?
No. Bronwyn didn't want to have the dog sedated and driven back in the car up the coast.
Right.
Bronwyn says, I'm going to save it from that.
So you just hid it in the house?
Hid it inside the house.
Sorry, I heard sedate and I suddenly thought, hang on.
You're thinking of something unusual. Bronwyn was saving it from sedation.
There's a dog strapped to a chair.
Like Hannibal Lecter.
With a ball in its mouth.
Thank you, Bronwyn.
Erin has joined us.
Hi, Erin. Is this a story
Hi, how
about
you
your
going?
pet?
No, another pet. We had a cat show up on our door where we were living at the time, and it sort of never left. Day and night it was there. We were feeding it, just looking after it best we could. Time came a few years later where we decided to move house. So we thought, we can't leave this cat. What do we do? We took it with us to the new place. We never thought to have it scanned because it just sort of never left. It never had a collar on it, anything like that. There were no posters around the neighbourhood. And it was before the time of sort of social media where you had Facebook groups and all that sort of stuff advertising those things so that if a cat was missing. So we just thought, let's do the right thing, take it with us. So we had him for a few more years there. And then something happened with his eye. So we thought, we'll just take him to the vet, get him checked out. And they decided to, and we said to them, look, we're not really sure who owned this cat. We were just looking after him, took him with us because we thought we were doing the right thing. They decided to scan him. He had a chip. The details weren't updated, so they couldn't contact the owners. But then they decided to look them up on social media, contacted them. They wanted the cat back after 7 years.
No.
After 7 years?
You're
after
kidding.
7 years.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it was pretty devastating for us. And it was nothing bad, and we were just trying to do the right thing and look after him and make sure he had a home. And
That's 7 years.
I wonder how people would feel about the vet doing that, the vet going to such lengths. Interesting. 7 years later.
Wow.
The good news is, Erin,
You might have missed out on the cat, but you're our last caller.
you're our last
live
caller,
on air.
which means you get a Sydney Royal Easter show pack, you get a family pass to the Easter show, you get our show bag, you get Dodgem passes as well.
Oh, my God, you made my day. Our kids are going to be so excited.
Of course they will, Erin.
Makes up for losing a long-lost, loved animal.
Oh, he was a beautiful cat too. So, yeah, hopefully he went back to home and he's living a good life.
Good on you, Erin. And we won't ring you back next week and take the tickets back. All yours. You take them with our blessing.
Love your show.
We love
keep
you,
doing a
Erin.
Great job.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Well, Elon Musk is an unelected official who seems to be holding very important positions in the White House at the moment. A lot of people aren't happy with the imagery of him with his son on his shoulder standing next to Donald Trump in the White House. Donald Trump pretty much doing an ad for the Cybertruck out the front of the White House. Elon Musk running a department that's chopping through their civil service and celebrating that by wielding a chainsaw. Him saying, "My heart to you," while he looks like he's doing a Nazi salute. He's engendered a lot of anger and he's making changes, negative changes to a lot of people's lives, and he's not an elected official. So there's anger around about him. So people are taking out on his Cybertrucks. So these Cybertrucks are the most god-awful ugly car I think I've ever seen in my life. So there's the Tesla and then there's the Cybertruck. It looks like, would you say, Brendan, like a transformer?
It looks like a kid's drawing of what a truck might be.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. But people have been torching them. And it's interesting that the FBI has come out and said there's a task force targeting the anti-Tesla, quote, domestic tourism. So it's okay if you have a spate of violence where you can take a gun into a school and kill kids. There's thoughts and prayers. But this is domestic tourism and it must
Terrorism
stop.
or tourism?
Sorry, terrorism.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Must stop.
Right, yeah.
Interesting. This
But
is also...
it's changed though, hasn't it? Everyone was loving the Tesla. Everyone was loving those Cybertrucks.
Well, here's
Joe Rogan was shooting arrows at them, although that was his way of demonstrating that he liked the truck. You shoot an arrow at
You
it.
didn't think Elon was inside?
No, he shot the arrow because the thing's supposed to be
So strong.
because it's made out of stainless steel.
Well, the Tesla stock price has dropped. This is what the problem, if you're a shareholder with Elon Musk, his brand is failing. Tesla's stock has dropped by over 50% since December. The decline has wiped $800 billion in market value. Extraordinary, isn't it? And there's protests in 30 states across the country. As we said, people are vandalising Telstra dealerships, individual Tesla vehicles, as well as these Cybertrucks. People have been putting stickers on their Teslas saying, "I bought this before Elon went crazy," saying,
right.
"Leave me alone, I'm on your side. I just bought it because it's a car." But in the midst of all this, I came across this woman. Her name is... I'll find it any second now.
Kathy Oldmate.
Kathy Oldmate. Her name is Alessandra Brancher, I think is her name.
Yep.
And she has written a song that I can't tell. The lyrics are so hilarious. She looks sincere, but it could be parody. But either way, this song has been taken by Elon's super fans and embraced. And this is the song. So people are taking this seriously, whether that was its intention or not.
He gave us cars that drive so fast, made rockets built to blast. Oh, thank you, Elon Musk. He took over Twitter's reign. He saved free speech for all, eliminating woke pain. SpaceX flies, Tesla self-drive, Starlink beams with laser dreams. He's got a master plan for our lives. Let's occupy Mars.
Okay.
Let's occupy Mars. And making kids to keep mankind alive.
Making kids to keep mankind alive. That's the thing he's doing
got a lot of
very well.
kids.
Got
He's
a lot
doing
of
a good
kids.
job.
Let's all enjoy the big finish of this song.
So here's to you, our tech tycoon, saving Earth and Mars real soon. We thank you, Elon Musk. One more kid, one more brand, launching rockets with just one hand.
One-handed rocket launch.
Optimus, Cybercat 2, what can this man do?
He is pretty good.
Oh, thank you, Elon Musk.
Where to next, Uranus?
Wow.
Jam
Nation.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
$20,000 for our favourite ghoulie of the year.
What have we got today?
What gets my ghoulies is when you buy something somewhere and you don't get a receipt, and then you find out something's wrong with the product you bought. Like, often that happens with takeaway with me, and I have to go back and take it, and then they turn around and say, where's the receipt? Like, you didn't give me one. I'm sick of having to ask for a receipt everywhere I go.
I go the other way. I don't want receipts anymore. My wallet, my bag, just filled with receipts that I chuck out when I get home.
You want to cover the paper trail. I understand that.
No. I just don't need that much paper.
I know.
I know you're pulling faces. No, that's not true. What else have we got?
People that can't read the traffic signs. There are big signs on the freeway that say, keep left unless overtaking. But no, the guy insists going 20 kilometres under the speed limit in the right lane until he reads the other sign that says overtaking lane ahead. That's when he speeds up 20 kilometres an hour and you still can't overtake him. Wish they'd just keep to the left in the first place and everybody would be happy, including me.
Is that guy you?
No. Well, do you think I drive slowly in the right lane?
Not at all.
No.
No,
I'm a bit of a lead foot.
You are. You do gas it a bit.
Yeah, okay, why don't you just tell everyone?
Out with the bad, in with the good. If you dipped out, you can contact us via the iHeartRadio app. It's 3 to 9.
Our favourite caller, email or Facebook friend wins a pair of Yamaha over-ear headphones with active noise cancellation. This is thanks to the Australian Hi-Fi Show 2025. Experience the world's best sound, April 4 to 6 at Sydney Central Hotel.
You get the Jonesy and Amanda tea towel and keyring as well.
Every day at 8 o'clock, we play the game Instagram. 10 questions, 60 seconds. Get them right, you win $1,000, and you can answer a bonus question for double or nothing.
Yeah.
Today it was Troy from Newtown.
Didn't he have a great radio voice,
He
old
did,
Troy?
but look, he was devastated when he didn't get all the way through, and he dropped a little cheeky word. Question 6. How many events are there in a decathlon?
5.
No.
Decathlon.
Sorry.
That's right.
See, Troy, you've got to be more professional in
Do
this
you,
business,
Brendan?
mate.
Because you've never sworn on air, ever. You got a little bit confused.
You got a bit clusterfuck.
I think.
I knew you'd do it. Oh, Brendan, you wanted to call this competition that, and I said don't do it because you can't do it. That was day one. That was day one.
That's enough.
Gold 1017's Famous Five continued with Rob Duckworth.
Yep.
Bon Jovi, Madonna, Robbie Williams, John Farnham, Pink. We pay when we play.
We'll be back from 6 to 9 for Jam Nation.
We'll see you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, tears from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.